listening to the FTWpodcast.com, where we talk about wrestling in all of its laughable glory. Here's a clip from this week's episode.
We have a question for everybody. You can send us questions through our email, tweet us, or whatever. And you can, don't forget about Facebook, facebook.com/FTWpodcast. So, Will, if everybody remembers, I want to say, a month and a half ago, he sent us in that question about Booker T, and Reyes and Garvin and I had a discussion that we tried to make sure it didn't get heated, but I think it did get heated. Anyway, Will is one of my favorite friends of the show, because whenever he writes in, it's cool to get a point of view that's so diametrically different from your own. But anyway, he sent this in saying, greetings, compulsive gamblers. No race baiting today, although Mama Clay's segment was something. Totally agree with you. I'd like to talk about the Yes Man. Taking a step back, do you think DDB and Sheamus are being built to clash at a bigger stage, i.e. not curtain jerking, between the casual and smark archetypical wrestlers? I mean, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that Daniel Bryan and Sheamus is basically going to be the clash between the casual fan and the smark fan? Although I hate that word, smark. Because I can see where he's saying. I mean, he basically says that Triple H's workout buddy versus the indie darling 2 years in running. One had a silver spoon in his mouth with title reigns, big programs, but had to be totally terrified of the nexus after slumping to a face turn. He's become the Cena type, Sheamus, super face, that kind of thing. And on the other hand, Bryan got dragged through NXT, kicked off Nexus, completely destroyed by Sheamus, who took his U.S. title last year, and then finally scrapes his way to the main event. The pair clash again, only to be blindsided by the big lights and atmosphere and lose his title at WrestleMania. So you got to think. I mean, do you think that's kind of what? Do you think that there's maybe an internal struggle in WWE creative, or do you think they're actually building this for that reason? Joe?
I don't know. I don't think that like they've had this thing planned where like, first Sheamus is going to take his U.S. title and then he's going to take his world title months down the line. I don't think they're planning that far ahead. And if they've thought of this storyline, I'm sure whoever came up with it was like fired subsequently. But I like the idea that Will's come up with here. I'm really interested to see, we saw it on SmackDown a little bit where Daniel Bryan was coming back after that WrestleMania
last week.
The Raw moment, where the crowd was just loving him and shouting yes, 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 and they actually had him come out after Raw. They had to have him turn it around on SmackDown, saying that they were mocking him and ridiculing him by doing that. But I could see them building something out of this. I would like to see these guys go back and forth a bit more.
Okay, Rob, you agree?
Yeah, I definitely like to see these guys go back and forth a bit more, and I don't think WWE is planning this, far enough ahead that they're really picking things. I mean, there might be something to Sheamus having an easier time of it because it's been well documented in WWE that if you make friends with Vince McMahon, make friends with Triple H or The Undertaker, your career goes much smoother.
Oh, yeah.
So there might be something on that end of it, but I don't think it's like any overt, plot.
You say that. I can see where you and Joe are kind of taking the cynical angle of, obviously they haven't been building this for the last year, but face it, Miami did something. I mean, the thing about Miami on Raw and again on WrestleMania is those were all of us. They were the super fans. They were the guys who are on the internet that have been following Daniel Bryan since his indie days. These are guys who knew who he was because they paid the 12, I want to say that trip probably cost a lot of these people like $2,000 or more to be at WrestleMania for the flight to Miami, hotel, food, WrestleMania, and Raw. It had to at least cost $2,000. So you're getting the super fan, and they went balls crazy for Daniel Bryan. I mean, we talked about it last week. So the idea that going forward, WWE, like Will said, they have to do something with that. I mean, there's an energy there and something going on that they have to tap into. And they'd be silly not to. And it's not even the first time this has happened. Remember when Daniel Bryan had his whole fallout and he was in the Indies, and I was the one who said that there's no way in hell he was coming back and that it wasn't a work, and it kind of was. I mean, it seems like this guy just seems to attract fans like us, and the WWE needs to rally them around something, and this is a great way of doing that. So, I mean, Will, thanks for the tip, man. I mean, it was a really good point. It really crystallized a lot of things that are happening right now, and it'll be interesting to see going forward with this in mind, to see, if where this discussion leads, really going into Extreme Rules. I want to see what happens going into Extreme Rules between Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, because that's where it'll come to a head.
Well, you've heard our thoughts, but now we want to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and even join us live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. at theftwpodcast.com.